Alright, hola, buenos dias, GNGs, or buenos noches, because I don't know when you're going to see this. So, I'm on the road. Obviously, I'm not in the studio. This is how things is right now, because I'm making moves right now. And so, this is Weekend Crypto. I am Trekk with 2Ks, and it's brought to you here on the Gentleman of Crypto YouTube channel, in case you did not know. So, basic idea is I cover crypto news that happens over the weekend. So that's from a Friday to a late Sunday. It's actually late Sunday right now, and I'm making these moves down the road. But before I get into those stories, I do want to say thank you to the folks who have been paying attention and tapping into the channel. Why? Because at the end of the day, this crypto news thing, this blockchain news thing, this industry, it is a 24-hour thing. Like, there is always something happening, right? So the basic idea, I'm sorry, I'm gonna be moving around for a little bit. The chair is activating right now. It's a massage chair, but nonetheless, the basic point is that I appreciate the folks who are tapping in and watching Weekend Crypto, because hey, we know when the market is down, sentiment for views be going like just dropping as far as how the view count go. So we appreciate the folks who are still tapping in. It also lets the big homie the big homies King and Zay know that hey, folks are paying attention to the channel, and I appreciate that. So for the lurkers, for the folks who give the thumbs up, for the folks who don't give no comments or nothing, I still appreciate y'all, because we see that the numbers show y'all are watching. And for the other people who ain't paying attention, don't say nobody didn't tell y'all, because like we covering damn near every part of this space between how many of us are doing segments on this channel. I'm just saying. Now, let me jump into these stories, because a number of things did happen. Here we go. All right, so here we are getting into these stories. So, like I said, things have been happening. I've been saying this for a while now. Binance is making these international moves, and it is a whole different ball game for what they are doing, right? So here you have it. Binance partners with Nigeria to build digital economic zone. Short caption of this is Binance and Nigeria have partnered for Dubai-like virtual free zone. The crypto exchange has made several moves recently to boost crypto and blockchain adoption globally. Nigeria remains one of the highest adopters of crypto globally. Now, what I will say about this article that I really wasn't a fan of is that it's just a short caption copy of the Bloomberg article, but even in that article and this article, there is no actual timeline that is being shared in this article, other than the fact that, hey, Binance is following through on getting into doing country level consultation services in relation to the blockchain industry, blockchain adoption, and whatever the utility or use cases is that you're going for. They're moving at these country levels. And so this is what's going on. They're going to make this partnership, or they're moving towards this partnership deal with the Nigerian government. And it's still kind of ironic that with what the Nigerian government is doing is actually like anti-crypto, but it makes me wonder if they're taking this stance and moving the way they're moving because they were trying to move in the deal with Binance in order to be able to make this more a smooth transition. Binance is north, south, east, and west on the African continent. I got another story that alludes to some stuff that they're doing in Latin America too. So just wanted to throw that one out there as a thing that is happening. Now, jumping into this next story. Kilma DAO engages Tusk strategies to push Congress to write DAO into law. Now, when I first read this, one, I didn't know who the fuck Kilma was. That's the first thing. The second thing is I don't know who Tusk Strategy is, but apparently it is a firm that is operating out of DC, and the person who's in charge of that has been known to be able to be effective in his network and his reach within the DC crowd, aka K Street and stuff. If you down this way, you know what I'm talking about. So the DAO said it partnered with Tusk Strategies to work on the Luminous and Gillibrand Responsible Financial Innovation Act. So here's the thing, and I'm gonna always keep coming back to this, right? Okay, first let me say this. You're going to the jailer to ask the jailer to give you conditional meanings and understandings based on how the jailer looks at you. You're not going in saying, hey, I want to be a part of making what this thing is going to be, this definition or this industry. It's, well, we're working on conceding certain points. And I would argue that the points that they're in this thing trying to concede, because the article's kind of long, and I'm not even going to run into all of that part of it. But what I will get into is, where's this line at? Because I did, like I said, I don't know what this company does, the DAO itself, but yeah, where is it at? Legislation host. Oh, this is it right here. Kalima DAO hopes the legislation will help legitimize its work in offering carbon-backed tokens that can be used to offset emissions. So basically what they're trying to do is they're trying to position themselves to be legally in a first mover advantage position for carbon credits, which is really moving behind the scenes in the crypto industry. And I'm telling y'all, when the carbon credit thing really hits the market, folks ain't even gonna be ready. And like it's in my opinion, for how I understand carbon credit markets as they are now set up, and then what they're looking to do in regards to this crypto thing, it's a money grab the whole way around, and it is not actually going to work to make any effective, positive climate change. That's at least my understanding. Remember, I'm some guy on the internet, so y'all can go follow what y'all follow, believe who y'all believe. I'm not telling you to just outright believe anything I say. Always double check this stuff, but when you do your research and you dig deep enough, arguably you start seeing that this carbon credit market is really just a money grab. But that's just my thought on it. But nonetheless, it made me actually think about this article in the overall and go, oh, this was just a product placement. This was just PR for the Kalima DAO, in my opinion. You could disagree with me though. Not saying they're not gonna make money, but you know, I'm just saying, like, you're gonna ask the people who put you in a position if they could please let you out. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. Nonetheless, pushing on to this next thing. So Solana proposes new move to silence critics fuel FUD. So the move, when I first read this article, I thought it was actually something like new that they're doing, but it turns out it's a new language that they're adding into their stuff. Part of the noise, by the way, like I said, I'm on the road, I'm moving right now. So Solana's price has not been having the best of months, with the altcoin pricing down by 31% since August. However, there has been one great new development on its GitHub. What's new? What's the next move? Solana's team seems to have incorporated the Move language into its development strategy. Move is a programming language created by Meta. Now, unless I'm totally fucking bugging, Meta is Facebook, right? Unless I'm totally bugging. I might be wrong, but somebody can correct me in the comments. Somebody can find me on Twitter and correct me on there too. Let's continue. With the same aiming to be the go-to programming language for developers in Web3. That's as far as I'm going to read. I'm just going to let y'all know this is my takeaway on this. You've already set the precedent that you have a blockchain that turns off and on. You're not the only one that does it, by the way, because there's another part in this article that talks about how Helium is about to move over to Solana. And I haven't even dug into that whole thing yet. Like, they just lost so much cool points in my book, personally, for this particular move. Now, Helium was doing the same thing with their blockchain. When things would happen, they would turn off their blockchain. So they already lost points on that, but this one is like extra. Why do I bring this up or look to harp on this? I would argue this is setting a precedent for blockchains that do not operate and do not run and do not have actual censorship resistance, in that they can be turned off and they can be turned on. And then and there's another part in this article where they try to make the cross-reference or promote it as this new function will also help to allow better DeFi. If you can turn this shit off, it's not DeFi. It is not decentralized. It is not censorship resistant. And if it ain't censorship resistant because you can turn it off, Like, this is just straight bullshit in my book. I'm not telling you that these things aren't going to make money for certain people. I'm not telling you this is financial advice. This is just me and how I'm looking into these things when I start cross-referencing the things that I'm aware of. As far as I know, you're not supposed to be able to turn off a blockchain and then say that if you can turn it off, you can't say it's DeFi and you can't say it's immutable, it's censorship resistant. If you can turn it off, then it's none of those things. That's where I'm gonna leave that one at. Jumping into this next story. I'm on the road right now, so I literally just pulled over to make this recording so I could hit back on the road and head to where I'm heading. Mercado Bitcoin's parent 2TM lays off more staff. So I didn't know who 2TM was, and then when I was reading down into it, I was like, oh, I remember these folks. I met them, or at least I met one of their people at a conference in Latin America a couple years back. And they are definitely one of the bigger ones for Brazil at the time. What gets me, though, for what they're saying is getting them to lay off near 100 other people is that market. What was it? So this second point right here. The company blames the lack of regulations for putting Brazil's companies at a disadvantage. Bruh, really? And I look at this two ways. It's either one, your current business models are not competitive to your local market, and then you're trying to expand out into the global market, but you're too afraid of just let's take the action and then we'll wait for when the regulators catch up and be like, yo, give us our cut. Or you're trying to stomp out somebody else's position in your local market. That's at least how I'm looking at it. Again, this is a sizable exchange in Colombia. Not Colombia, in Brazil. Also, they brought up how this other exchange in Mexico, what is the name of the other one? Bitso. Bitso also laid off people too. But there's another thing that they mentioned in this article, in that Binance is looking to buy a smaller, where is it at? It wasn't an exchange, but it was a financial institution. Yes, here it is. Binance, which has taken steps to acquire local Brazilian brokerage authorized by the company's securities regulators. So basically, Binance is making moves in various different ways in different regions. I've been saying this for months. They play on a very different scale compared to Coinbase here in the States. And ever since they had that whole breakup with the international and then the U.S. arm, like, it just seems like a lot more things have been working out for the international arm, and they haven't had as much headaches going on with the U.S. based arm in comparison to what's going on to everybody else. That's at least my interpretation on it. Now, moving on to this next joint, I got one more story after this. So PwC Venezuela's Twitter account hacked to promote scam XRP giveaway. And this was like literally in the last couple of hours. And basically, for what it looks like right now, and at the time of writing of this particular article, which was, what is that? The time is messed up on that, but it should not be 6:30 something, especially EDM. But anywho, the point being is that when this was happening, they didn't fix their account, they didn't check their stuff, so it was going on for a while. If folks who are trying to figure out what's going on, basically stay the hell away from it. It's a scam, and hopefully nobody got scammed that's in the Warriors group. I'm hoping y'all was smart enough to stay away from this type of thing and warn other folks too. But basically this happened over the weekend with PwC, and it's the Venezuela account. But I imagine some people did get caught. I'm just hoping it's none of the Warriors out there. All right, moving on to this last story. Thai seek toughens crypto ad regulations amid broader market downturn. So the basic idea, Thailand has been going in on this shit from every angle that they probably can. the bottom line is they're like, hey, these companies that are crypto exchanges and stuff, y'all need to start being a lot more clear and transparent about the risk that comes with being involved in the crypto space and how volatile they are. That to me makes total sense. That is some real, like, honest shit. You can lose your whole shirt in this. People have lost their whole shirt in this. People have lost homes. Yo, folks don't understand. Like, if you've been in this joint for a minute, dead ass, like, people lost houses. They lost marriages off of this thing. It's real, right? But nonetheless, the the Thai's version of the SEC is like, hey, y'all got 30 days to get this shit in gear and start, clearing up how y'all ads are being promoted and what they're saying. And then if not, we're going to start coming after y'all with some fines. That's the bottom line. Hey, every government is looking to gang it up in their own way. Other thing to note that they brought up in this article is that there's been a number of other companies or countries also looking to say, hey, y'all need to get better and be more clear at your advertising and how you're letting or how companies are being able to promote within certain countries. So the UK is one example. Where's the other one? Spain was another country that they named in this article. But the bottom line is the different countries and jurisdictions are moving in different ways to either toughen up their regulations or start implementing regulations on blockchain crypto related companies. So that's the last story I got. I'm closing it out for y'all. All right, bet. So there you have it. Those are the stories. Like I said, like, it's stuff going on in Nigeria. Binance is making these moves as they do. Things happening over in a number of other countries as they are. Everybody moving how they move. The point being is things are always happening in this space. So before I close out, let me just say a couple of things. One, me and my homeboy 3D, we are continuing on where it's the once a month we're doing our metaverse webinar. We renamed our webinar. Going forward, it's going to be Metaverses, the Cliff Notes of Web3, basically talking about open source, low code, no code ways to build and create within the metaverse ecosystems as they exist out here. And so if you don't know, we are also doing Twitter Spaces every Thursday at 8 p.m. for this month. We might change it next month, but for this month, it is on Thursdays at 8 p.m. East Coast time. So if you are on the Virginia, Florida, New York, Connecticut side of the country in the States, that's the timeline we're doing it on for 8 p.m. Other than that, I am Trekk with 2Ks. This is Weekend Crypto. And if you are seeing this on a Monday morning, hopefully you have a good week. Better yet, you have a productive week. But if you're not having a productive day or week, at least be in good company and a safe place. One.